had strings, but
A couple weeks ago from today, I was accused of something that I have never done. The video that I have up very recently was talking about that situation. The situation of where somebody was in my Discord server and they accused me of being a PDF file with no accord, no proof, just spammed it and left my server. Now, obviously I went on a scavenger hunt because I wanted to know who this was. So I posted the video about it, saying basically, well, you're up, asshole, you shouldn't be doing this kind of stuff, you're putting me at risk, you're putting you at risk. When I made that video, I did not anticipate this. Now mind you, the comment under the video was deleted by the original poster. So I would never know what the comment was. Well, I did. I saw the comment, but the dude, Top Knot, who was the original accuser, deleted the comment. So I couldn't really do anything about it. I couldn't screenshot it. However, I was able to screenshot the notification I got under that comment, showing this man right here. Shallot. Now, for those who don't know who Shallot Teen is, he has went by many names. Shallot Teen on YouTube, Shallot, I think it's Ryu Enjoyer 18 or something on TikTok, Minus. This man used the old owner of Dragon Ball Memory. For those who don't know what Dragon Ball Memory is, it is basically Dragon Ball Revival, the voice acting server that I own. But it was originally called Dragon Ball Memory with a different entire server, owned by him. Now, that server was up for about almost a year, and was suddenly taken down because he lost interest. What we didn't know is that it wasn't a loss of interest more than it was to have the accusations upon his name. Today, I bring forth to you everything I have on this man, because with those allegations that he had earlier this year, there were actually more allegations heavied on his name, but not able to speak out, aka me. I have so much on him that I was not able to speak out because he did not want me to. He did not let me. I tried to one time in his server, and he tried to put it all on me with some stuff that I never even did. So today is the day that I break that bear. I break the chain. I'm speaking out. This is the story of Minus, the memory owner who failed. Where every good story starts, we need to start from the beginning. I made the Prince Vegeta video, and that video drew in a lot of people, obviously. When you go and check that video, it has over 12k views. When you check that video as well, you would see a comment under by the name of Dragon Cell. Dragon Cell, for anyone who didn't know when I brought him up in past videos, is a good man that goes by the name Brody. Brody is a very close friend of mine. He is not the one we're talking about today. Brody / Dragon Cell has only been one of the biggest parts of the abuse this man has caused to a lot of his actors and people that he's known. Brody, or Dragon Cell, invited me to the server, the original server, Dragon Ball Memory. When he invited me to the server, I was greeted with a bunch of people via their Chi-Chi voice actor, Minus, or Shallot, I'll call him Minus for the rest of the video, Dragon Cell, and a bunch of others. One notable, Lord Frieza. He will be brought up later in the future. When I joined that server, I thought it was all peachy clean, obviously. I joined in, I was a naive kid, and then not even a week goes by and a lot of stuff begins to unfold. To divvy up the evidence equally, I have these in categories. These accusations are all put in different categories, so for ones who want to see more damning evidence than just a small little tag, they can go through the video, find that said evidence, and then want to give them a reaction. The categories go as follow: mistreatment of actors / deception of behind people's back, alleged grooming, false allegations upon my name, lying about age, abuse in past relationships, and blackmail. let's start off with mistreatment of actors / deception behind people's back. For the deception behind people's back / mistreatment of actors, this has a decent amount of victims. Brody / Dragoncell, me, and 3 other people who would wish to stay anonymous. To starters, I will go with the anonymous figure. While Minus wants to put on a face that he is friendly, he will very be known to put down his friends in front of other groups of people. Via this picture here of one of our anonymous sources saying, "Hey, what's going on?" as he joins the server. And instead of having a hello, he says, "Why are you here?" Basically feeling like it's a crime to be there. While this is a petty, more not really big piece of evidence, evidence is still evidence and it needs to be shown to the public. This was also discussed more between the DMs of me and the person who was affected. Another person who was affected by this was the other anonymous source and Brody. Brody is Dragoncell, and I will give more feedback on Dragoncell in a minute. But just for the small background, Dragoncell was not only the original person to put me inside of the server, but on top of that, our Vegeta and basically one of the co-owners of the server, while didn't have that title, was very involved with the server as is. The photos I'm showing you now are pictures of Minus not only disrespecting Brody, but his relationship as well, because he thought it was quote-unquote funny. And when looking at it through a hindsight, this is terrible. Genuinely terrible. The next segment of the video is covering the topics of abuse in past relationships. Viewer discretion is advised. So, this tackles 2 victims, Willow and Angie. I will give Angie's testimony first via the images, and then I will give Willow's after. Angie was somebody I met on Instagram via interview. Connections to Kaz. When I talked to Angie, she gave up information about their relationship via the fact that they were dating when she was 15 and he was 16. This was 3 years ago. Now, Angie is 18 and Minus is 19. There was proof in the pudding, actually 2 years ago, not 3, showing that Minus would threaten himself with violence if she did not do erotic roleplays. That is basically codename for roleplays under sexual nature. The picture that I'm going to show right now shows him threatening himself with damage due to not being able to get this for himself. They read as such: "My cuts. Okay, yeah, I'm going to go cut myself. I'm gonna go eat, definitely not cut myself. But it's a little cut. I think one of my cuts is open. I feel like the cut's bleeding. The soap got into my cuts. Cut myself all over my body. And cut his limbs too. Should I get an egg? Okay. Until we cut the fighting," he said. "Or I'll cut myself. I'm gonna go cut myself. I wanna cut myself. I'm just gonna go kill myself. Then cause all my relationships end in a breakup lasting for 3 months. I picture that everyone hates me and I'm going to kill myself. I swear to God, if he says no, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna kill myself tonight because clearly nobody loves me. I should draw me killing myself. I just can't take it anymore. I'm killing myself. I'm going to kill myself, so this is my final goodbyes. I just want to kill myself. And I don't want to be in love with you anymore. And I just want to kill myself. Hey baby, this might be my final goodbye. I'm going to take a break for possibly a week. I honestly might kill myself. This world fucked me up and you helped. This is why I want to kill myself. I'm gonna kill myself. I need to kill myself." This happened on and on and on and on, to a point to where it was dangerous. But not only that, would he get genuinely aggressive with her, and he would start to get aggressive towards the exes as well. This one shows. Crazy part was she was crying like a bitch. I even yelled at her on Insta, making her cry more. Why? And I did not care. Crazy part is she wanted me to talk it out with her, and she made a video on me. So I was a bitch to her. but you wanted to leave her for Deluxe. Don't know who that is. No, I didn't. Yeah, you did. I just wanted to leave her. What about your anger issues? I'll try to control it. I just don't know if a poly relationship would work, especially how the last one ended. I would do anything to protect them and give them everything I can give them. I don't want to mess anything up with them. Please understand me. I don't want to be the one that takes them from me. Just don't. I have been overthinking this ever since you guys added each other. Exactly. You felt something. You grow. You weaken. Then you die. That's what happens. There's barely happiness in this world. I don't really like them. Blank. And I would put my life on it to prove that I do. Nothing ever goes as planned. Then show me. You're gonna kill yourself over some dumb person that you'll never know for months just to leave? Don't make me laugh. Stop apologizing. It's my fault. I cheated on you guys. If you hadn't felt that way, it would have never happened. I was the one who caused you to feel that way, so I'm sorry. What this leads to be is something that I didn't bring up yet, but I will bring up now. He cheated on her while they were dating, but he used manipulation tactics to make her think that she was the victim. This will be more furthered on into the evidence part of it. The reason I cheated was out of jealousy and fear. You can say that you and blank never talked really, and it seemed like we were getting dry, and I felt like you were ignoring me, hanging out with blank, and I grew scared that you guys started to hate me, so I went with another person and distanced myself away. You could have said that you felt like that, but it doesn't change that you went out and go find someone else's attention. You should have just spoken to them about the problem. No one else can change your mind other than you. When does it start? When did the cheating start? A couple months ago. Was it when I noticed that you two were marching? Back in November. Yes, that was likely in November. I can't remember the month, but it was that. Which was why I was distant. I thought you would change, but you didn't. Please give me another chance. I'll break up with blank and mute blank. Why did you lie about not knowing blank? I did have to not know them, which was a lie, because he mentioned them in the message before. This is the one furthering on the cut myself all over my body part. Again, viewer discretion is advised. Cut myself all over my body. Gosh, I'm sorry. Sorry I made you do that, babe. Would you be okay? Obviously not because of you. Oh, I'm sorry. And don't even think about doing that dumb shit of saying sorry when you're the one that hurts. I'm clearly hurt. I know. Mentally and physically. I would do anything to make it up to you. I know you're in pain. For now, rest, please. I love you a lot. You mean a lot to me. I'm not lying when I say that I wouldn't be here without you. When I blocked you, it hurt me, and I know it hurt you more. I'm really sorry, and I only unblocked you because I wanted for you to come text me. I was too scared. I didn't want to lose you at all. I don't know how to deal with my emotions the right way. I'm sorry. I really love you. I don't want to lose you. And then he put a picture of Goku Black laughing at her. They are the same thing to me. Then you're stupid. Yeah, I already know that. Good. Because apparently friends are more important than lovers. Well, you make me feel unwanted by the stuff that you say to me. I understand that you go through rough times, and it hurts when you say things towards me. My friends are the ones who make me feel comfortable and help me boost my self-esteem. I am sorry that this is all harsh, but it's true. I just feel like you don't appreciate me. Wow. You don't know how to show me love, because all honesty, I don't know if there's any love for you too. Just quit it. No. I'm gonna keep moving and flicking around. Stop. Why? I'm not bored anymore. I'm just fun doing this. Stop it. Seriously. I'm just going to pick where to stab myself now. Can you stop me? Can you pick me? Stop. I can't decide. Stop. Bandage up and go relax. I'm sorry I felt extremely uncomfortable and useless because you weren't stopping and I had to put a stop to it. I didn't know where else to do. Shut up. You weren't stopping, so I didn't want to get it worse. I almost committed suicide after you unadded me. You put me through more pain because of that. I'm sorry. My eyes are hurting from sobbing. My head is pounding. My arms are hurt like shit. You know, I don't get why you're still talking to me, even after I cheated. Aren't we friends? It's fine. I wasn't talking about you. No, it's that feeling. The same feeling that I had that made me cheat. Something doesn't feel right. Now we're going to start the accusations with Willow's side. For instance, for Willow, Willow is a 18-year-old that he dated when he was 19, around 18 to 19. He dated her this year, the same year that I was involved. He tried to throw me involved in that relationship too. Not poly-wise, but just as the middle ground. A terrible middle ground that he never went to. This is how those two had a conversation over the Frieza guy being racist in the server and deserving a ban. That will be mentioned further into the future. Stop trying to change the topic. I'm not. You are. You banned the Trumpy, you called him this, because he was racist toward your friend. This is exactly why I didn't want to fucking respond to you. Because I knew you were going to start the damn argument. I didn't want to. Yes, you did. You tried to use your tactic your mom used on you about Trump on me. No. Then stop. Then how about this? The guy you banned was racist to your friend. If the racism is going to stop, like you said, why ban him? Listen, I'm not going to ban Frieza. I'm confused on your logic. I just want an explanation. He will have consequences, but he's not banned. Now you're changing the topic. Why did you ban the guy? You know what? I'm done. I'm actually done. Fine, I'll stop. No. You just want to stop because I'm done? Yes, because you're uncomfortable. I don't care if I am. My other friends find me comforting, unlike my girlfriend. I do find you comforting, though. Not anymore. I still do, just not in this instance. You don't find me comforting either right now. But every time you talk casually or when we call, I adore it. I told you that, but I still love you. Now, I do want to bring up this because before, when Angie brought up finding her friends comforting, Minus would say, well, I guess I'm not comforting to you. Now, he's flipping the script saying that he finds his friend comforting, but she's not comforting. And the reaction is completely different on both sides. I can't just let someone go like that I knew for years. It's not how that works, Willow. I know it's hard. All I ask is that you talk to him, not excuse it blindly because it's difficult. I'm going to talk to him. I told you that 3 times. Are you blind? He's going to get consequences, but not a ban. Then do it now. Get it over with. I am. Okay. Fucking prick. I love you too. Suck a dick. God, I fucking hate everything. I mean, I don't care. Okay? I still love you, even if you're angry at me. And I'm starting not to. Okay. I won't argue that. It's your choice. But I still love you. Stop fucking texting me. Fucking fuck the sleep call too. Okay. Good night. I love you. Shut the fuck up. I know you told me to shut up, but I'm sorry, baby. And don't bother telling me to shut up again. I know, just take care of yourself. Sleep well. I love you. I have fun with your friends. And then he sends a screenshot of him talking to Frieza. Now leave me alone. Thank you. I love you. Reese, I know I keep texting you, but tomorrow, do you want to try calling when I get home? I'm not about what happened or anything like that. Just chatting, like we usually do. I get it if you get a no, I don't want to force you. Stop trying to talk to my friends. Why? And CJ is already my friend, so... Because I didn't give you permission, and you could be spreading horrible shit about me? I'm not a dog. Like what, Reese? You know what. I've wanted to meet your buddies for a while. Yeah, but at this time, fuck no. I'm not falling for it. Okay, fine. No, I'm actually done. Whatever you want. Goodbye. Bye. This goes back further. This actually is a further one that I want to say is a disgusting thing that he said. Let me explain. True comedy. For you and me, it'd be like, you're trans, I'm gay, we're so dead. But even aside from that, I'm a white woman, which means if I hear some sort of sound, hello, is somebody there? Like, of course, dipshit, fucking run. But since my tutorial's done now, you're ADHD Tails, and I'm IBS Sonic. I'm so shitting my pants. Actually, it's I'm gonna grape you. Wow. This is another situation where he talks about his sister, where he yells at his sister and Willow tried to calm him down. So, I crashed out on my sister. What happened that led to it? Food. Because I'm hungry, right? And I'm in the car with my family, and since they picked me up today, and my mom said she's mainly nice, but abusive at times, what are we doing for food? And my sister says, I don't care for food, I just want to go home. But I ignored it. I suggested pizza, and she said, no, I don't like pizza. I looked at her, and I screamed at the top of my lungs. Like Goku. Shut the fuck up. You said you didn't want food. You're not a part of this conversation. Which made her shut up and put her music back on. Reese, if I may chime in, here's what I'd say. Yeah, you're good to be annoyed by her. The response that she did say she didn't care, and that's annoying. But I do think you should have talked and apologized to her, because that went from 0 to 100. You good with what I mean? No. She literally threw a pair of scissors at me when I was 12. Why would I apologize to her? How old was she? 14. Okay, if I may ask, somebody who works with kids, and this includes around that age, obviously this wasn't cool of her. I hate her, Willow, and that's not changing. Reese, you don't have to like her. She also cusses me out, calls me names in front of her friends, and scratches me with her nails. I fucking hate her. And those are valid, but that's not a reason to yell at her now. At the time it all happened? Yes, obviously. I'm not apologizing. End of subject. You're missing the point. There isn't just apologize to her because she's your sister thing. It's an apologize because if that's anyone else, it'll scare the fuck out of them. It's a bad habit, and you don't like being a bad person. You've told me that. First, I want to start this section off with two things. A, everything in this section is alleged. None of this is confirmed. It is all alleged. And B, this is very sensitive topic. And even though, yes, I did give a warning at the beginning of the video, I will still give a warning for this section. Viewer discretion is advised. When I talk to some of the victims via Kaz and coincidentally the modern day 14-year-old that he is dating, I was brought to attention of age gaps. Now, mind you, what are age gaps exactly? For those who really don't care or really are clueless, age gaps are gaps in age while in romantic relationships. Sometimes in friendships, but most of the time they're in romantic relationships. And the ones I want to mention right now are the dangerous ones. See, for an average person, an average age gap that is a normal age gap is from months to a year to 2 years. The age gap between Kaz and Minus was 14 and 18. Shocker. The other age gap, which is his modern day girlfriend, is 14 and 19 to 15 and 19. 15 and 14 obviously being the victim, and 19 being Minus. When it has 18 to 19 on it, that is Minus. When it has 14 to 15 on it, that is victim, that is Kaz. Two victims. One is anonymous, the other one is Kaz. For those who decided to stay for this, here are the pictures of him getting very sexually erotic with Kaz, the 15-year-old that he was trying to coerce into sexual actions. Now, don't get it twisted. This isn't the 16-15 split like Angie. No, that's legal. This is the 14-18 split with Kaz, which was the same thing except for he didn't threaten to kill himself because she was willing. She did not know. She was negligent. Nobody told her. She was taken advantage of. Anyways, on top of that, now you have the pictures of the modern day 14-year-old. Now, I will not be reading any of these off because they are genuinely inappropriate and I feel uncomfortable reading those off. However, I will show them on screen for the ones who want to see them. Also, I would like to show this. This is blacked out, obviously, because the 14-year-old wanted to stay anonymous, but proof that He told her while in a romantic talking stage that he was 18 to 19 years old while she was 14. Yikes. Now I feel bad because this section should be as long as it can be, but it really can't. There's nothing to explain and there's nothing to go in depth with. He was 18 to 19 talking to two 14-year-olds, one last year when he was 18 and one this year when he was 19. His birthday is in July, and I was introduced to the victim 2, the anonymous one, in August to September. Right. In August to September, she was 14 and he should have been 19. I did not know the situation was going down until October, a month later. Then, when I realized she was 14, he was 19, that is a 5-year age gap. Now, there are some pictures like this one where he's trying to tell a group of people that he is actually 16 and not 19. There is not only one contradiction to that, but actually multiple. For example, Angie's entire story would not make sense if he was 16 at this day and age. Do you know why? Because she is 15 at the time. That was 3 years ago. She would have been 15. He was told to be 16. Those two had multiple calls together. They were very honest with each other, and somehow the 14-year-old learned very soon, that he was 16 and not 18. Or, I'm sorry, not 19. So why did it never take Angie at all to find that he was 13 at that time and not 16? The reason why is because that is not true. He was 16 at the time. 3 years ago, he was 16. Now, he is 19. Three years ago, he was 16. Now, he is 19. Which would also leave problems for two people, in fact. That would have, if he was 16, that would have left problems for Willow and the random pixie girl that I was introduced to. I don't know how. See, when talking to the victim, the anonymous one, I did not find out that until late that there was a pixie girl that actually started these allegations, which couldn't make sense. Because what happened was, he said he lied about his age to get with the pixie girl. So he said he was 18, which he tried to play that lie off. What nobody ever told him was that that was his relationship before he got with the 14-year-old. Now, do you see a contradiction? Because I can tell you the biggest red flag ever. The flag on the play is that he told her, his last relationship, and the modern day one, that he was 18, but he lied for the last one. So what was the excuse for lying to Willow and lying to Angie and lying to Kaz and lying to me, Brody, and everyone else that you were 18? Here's the fun part. He never lied. He never told us he was 18 when he was actually 16. He is 19. All roads lead back to Rome. All roads lead back to this disgusting man being 19 years old and allegedly grooming two 14-year-olds, one when he was 18 and one when he was 19. Disgusting. Genuinely horrid. But that is the end of the allegations. Now, we go into the bigger part of this bigger pie. Welcome to the interviews. To start off our first interview, I want to go with the longest one first. Angie, the one I talked about during the abuse in relationships. Angie was 15 when he dated her when he was 16, right? 3 years ago from this time. Her testimony is 50 minutes long, crazy, and it covers grounds from not only abuse in past relationships, but on top of that, the mistreatment of people, the deception behind people's back, and the confirms the lying of the age was false, and also kind of signifies the alleged grooming part as well, due to a side story of him wanting to get together with his 13-year-old babysitter for his sister when he was 17 himself. Viewer discretion is advised. Angie, take the floor.
Okay, so me and Reese were an on and off thing for about 3 years, right? And so the first couple of months, we weren't, like, he didn't show his true colors yet, right? We had like this poly relationship between me and this other guy. The age gaps were just 2 to 1 year, basically. It wasn't like a problem or an issue. And so during a few months, I don't recall how many months we dated for during that time, but we're like an on and off thing. And as time progressed, Reese became more he had anger issues and also jealousy issues, right? And he got more aggressive. He would have these episodes. I don't know if I would call them episodes, but he would get like really depressed, like really what's it called, like really jealous and sad, and like had this aggression. And every time it would happen, he would like go to me, right? He wouldn't go to the other guy. He would be like semi-distant. He wouldn't tell him, you know. Sometimes he would, but like it was mostly me that he came to, right? And so in some screenshots, you could see how aggressive and threatening he was being, where he would say that he was gonna like cut himself, that he felt excluded out, and this and that, right? And well, I tried my best to make him like feel like he's like equal, you know, because I don't like making people feel left out, you know. And so the only time I didn't ask him to play with us, because like, you know how your mind sips basically this and that, right? I remember one time I asked him before, like, you should come play with us, like you should, like, you know, join us and stuff like that, like you can call with us. And he was like, no, like you could tell by the tone of somebody, like their tone of text, that they were annoyed, you know. And he was being very obvious about it, because he was being distant. He started getting more upset. And so I was like, okay, like, yeah, I'll drop it, you know. So as time passed, right, he only preferred to play with me solo rather than the other guy being there. I didn't see a problem with it, because, you know, you need to spend time with you know, one person and this other person, right? It has to be equal. And so anytime I would hang out with the other guy, he'd get jealous, because he'd be like, you're picking him over me. But I'm trying my best to give them both equally. So I tell him like, oh, I'm trying to make it equal, you know. And he would get like aggressive during that. He would be like, he would say he hates them, and then later he'd be like, oh no, I didn't mean that, and this and that, right? And anyways, after that wasn't the only aggression he had. And so anytime I wouldn't do something for him, to me it felt that way, because there was a time, actually a few times, where he would ask to do these little role plays, right? Sometimes I wouldn't be up for it, you know, like erotic role play. I don't know if anybody knows about that, but you know, it's just like, it was an online thing, so it was easier to do it out on text rather than, you know, this and that, right? You know, just for, I guess, pleasures or whatever, right? And so he would ask for that. Sometimes I would say yes, sometimes I would turn it down, because, you know, usually when we do that, we're always like, that means when we're available, because we spend like a few let's say like 2ish 3ish hours doing it, you know, continuously. And so I wasn't like I wasn't really like trying to go continuous that time because I was busy. I had to do this and that, and I also didn't feel like it, right? And he would get mad, not like absurd mad, but he would be like, okay, then just he would get aggressive basically and sad, right? He would say, okay, well, I'm just gonna go hurt myself. And I was like, what? Don't do that, you know? And he's said that multiple times also when we played something, and if it made him mad, he would be like, I'm gonna go cut myself. And then he'd be like bringing it all the time. He would be bringing it all on the time. And I wasn't annoyed. I was really worried for him at that time because I was like, so when I see a person being that way, I'm not judgmental, you know? I actually like, I feel bad because if they're feeling that way, they shouldn't, like, that's not, that shouldn't be normalized or normal, and you shouldn't judge a person because of that. Because I knew Reese, like, he was different. I think he was autistic as well. He didn't get too much into what disorders he had, but I know he had anger issues, and I knew that he was, he had a couple of disorders. I remember he named them. I just don't remember what they were, but I never judged him for that, you know? I always, like, tried my best to take care of him, like, because I cared about him, you know? Because, like, I'm that type of person. I'm very, like, a lot of sympathy, basically, empathy as well. So anytime he would get like that, I'd be like, oh, like, I would, like, talk with him, you know? And sometimes it wouldn't resolve. Sometimes it would, but that's because I have to be very, like, very straight with him, you know? Like, I don't have to be, like, harsh, because I'm not a harsh person. I always talked it out with him, you know? I never told him, oh, you shouldn't, like, you're not valid, you know? I'd say you're valid for feeling that because, like, you can't, like, I know for myself, I get angry, I say shit that I don't mean. I'm on that level, you know? I used to, like, I relate to him, not in that way, but I have my own experiences where, you know, people didn't validate me, and it just made things worse, you know? And so, like, you should never judge a person, basically, is what I'm saying. And so, Reese, he was that case. At that time, I didn't know what would continue on in that, you know, more in the future, right? That was the only problem. He didn't show any signs that he liked younger people or had any kinks for that or fetishes for that, right? And so I would help them with those little struggles, right? It came to a point where I don't know how I think it was like our breakup, like our second breakup, I think, or I don't know if it was our first or second, but my mind's like foggy right now. So our second, first breakup, whatever, he was like being very, like, he did not want to solve the problem, basically. Like, he wasn't listening to me. He didn't want to stop. So I got scared because, like, I feel like I was motivating him more just by, you know, letting him rant on about it. And so I got scared. I had to block him for him to stop because, you know, like, to get him to realize, like, because, like, for me, like, I'm not into that shit. Like, I don't like it when people are telling me it and they're not stopping, you know? I feel really bad, and it just, like, it's just emotions I can't express, basically. And so I blocked him, and later I added him. I didn't, like, block him for the whole day. I added him a few hours later, and then he would get aggressive. He'd be like, you almost made me kill myself, this and that. And I was like, I told him that like I didn't want for you to motivate you more, and I got scared that like you know, like he was gonna do more and this and that, right? And I only wanted him to realize that like he should stop, you know, like come to that realization that I wasn't liking what he was saying. And he would say that he hates me. He was being like really harsh after that, like very harsh. He would say mean things, and then later we would talk and it would be solved, and then we went back. He was still on that little trust issue thing, right? And so I helped him get my trust back, basically, like both of us, basically, to get my trust for him and his trust for me back, right? So I'm not sure what exactly happened. That I'm pretty sure we were like going fine, right? And then after a little while, Reese started acting different. He became distant. I don't recall what else. He didn't want to play as much with me every time I'd ask or really call, right? He became distant. And usually when you're in a relationship, you get these bad thoughts, right? And these bad thoughts were actually true. I'm pretty sure he went with somebody. Like the first person he cheated on me with was, I'm pretty sure, one of my friends on TikTok, right? And so I found out because I saw him matching with them, and that I don't care if they're matching, but what they were matching was a non-safe for work profile. And usually that means that, okay, to me, maybe it doesn't, like to others it doesn't mean anything, but to me it was like what's up, like we're dating but you're matching this with other people. Maybe if it was a joke, or I don't care, but you're not telling me this. I've asked you like, who are you matching with? And he's like, oh, nobody, I'm matching myself. And I was like, okay, so like that's like what the fuck, you know? And so I find out that he's matching with my friend, because I was looking at my DMs. I don't remember why. I think I was looking for something for somebody, and I saw them, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, maybe they're just, I don't know, because I was like, my friend wouldn't do that, because I told them about Reese before, right? And this and that were an on-off thing. And so on TikTok, I see one of my friends repost something about, I don't know, like a couple TikTok, whatever. I check the comments and I see them tagging his username, and they're saying, I don't recall what it was, but you could obviously tell that they were dating. And I was pissed because I was like, what are you doing? Like, we're in a relationship, you wanted this and that, right? And well, I was like mad with my friend too, because I was like, what the fuck, you know? I came to them, they're like, oh, I thought you guys broke up. And I was like, in my mind I was like, bro, even if we broke up, I was like, I don't know, to me as a friend, I would never date any of my friends' exes. Like, I would never. That's just common sense, right? And I was mad because like you did it behind my back, you didn't even ask me, right? I was like fucking mad, you know? And they're like this and that, and then I unfriended them basically, because I was like, fuck that, you know? I don't need that in my life. I confronted Reese, and I don't recall what he said during those moments, but I do have screenshots. But I had to check back on that, obviously. But I remember he was saying that, it wasn't, like, he didn't mean it. Like, he just, like, I remember specifically he said that it was nothing other than like a fling, because of our relationship, like between me and him, that there was problems. And I was like, I was pissed because I was like, bro, like, you just can't be doing that shit. If you have a problem with our relationship, like, if I'm not getting to you, if we're not communicating, then like tell me what's wrong. And he doesn't, you know, like, he waits until it gets bad. So like that pisses me off, obviously. And I break up with him, right? I'm pretty sure I just stopped talking with him, I'm pretty sure. And so I went with the other guy, basically, that was in our poly relationship. I told him everything, this and that. We confronted him and everything. And then Reese tried playing as a victim, saying, oh, you guys never involved me in any stuff. I didn't feel loved. And I was telling Reese, like, how can you say that if I literally talked with you before? Like, if you feel that way, talk to me. And sometimes I'd notice he feels that way, so I'd go talk to him, and then he'd be like, no, it's nothing. And so like I'm not the person to be pushing. If somebody doesn't want to talk, they don't have to talk, right? So I leave it at that. But I'd also bring it up another time, which is basically at night. And well, he'd open up usually at that time, right? And so I'm like, it's okay, like, don't worry. I'm not trying to make it look one-sided. Like, you know, I'm equal for you guys, right? And we broke up with him, right? We broke up with Reese, me and the other guy, right? And so I don't know how much has passed, little months or whatever. They break up, I'm pretty sure. And I think my mood adds me back or whatever. I don't recall what happened there. And then we started talking, like, they're sorry, this and that, and that, like, yeah, Reese treats me bad as well, like, they act the same way. And then what caught my attention was that they told me specifically that that Reese told them that I was the one being abusive in the relationship, that I would threat to cut myself, that I would just do this and that. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean? Did he say that? And they're like, yeah. And they sent me a screenshot. Sadly, I don't have their DM. I'd have to, like, go back to them, whatever. I'd have to contact them again if I wanted to see that screenshot. But it's there. And so I'm pretty sure I confronted Reese about it at that time. And I don't recall what he said that time, though. Something about that he apologized. And I don't know. I think I, like, didn't trust him after that. I'm pretty sure I didn't trust him. And, well, after a little while, things started to be okay, right? And then, well, before they were okay, I remember there was another person that they wanted to get in poly. Reese wanted to get a poly with someone else, right? And so they also shared their experience that it was bad with Reese, right? And so after that, I'm pretty sure me and Reese became friends again, because, like, I still loved him, you know, like even if he cheated on me, I still stayed with him, because I still loved, like, he knew me from the bad and out. And so I never got so personal or so close to somebody like that before, you know. He'd show, like, believe it or not, he'd showed me how to be more myself, you know. Like, he was the first ever person to really, like, I could really, like, have long VC with him, right? Like, to talk with him. He actually made me have that comfort. We would always call, sleep call, like, a lot of that shit, basically. And, you know, it was good. Like, that was good enough for me, you know. I don't require that much, right? But, like, I don't know why, like, at that time I was so ignorant to the situation, but I can't deny that I still loved him during that time, right? Like, that love is something you cannot get rid of. It is something that comes on to you and you cannot get rid of it, no matter how much hard you try. It's really difficult. And so with him, I felt that way. And we became friends, right? We started, I'm pretty sure after a while, I was still with the other guy, right? And so I started having problems with the other guy. We broke up and this and that. I vent to Reese about it. I'm like, hey, you know, like, I don't feel good, you know? And so me and Reese started talking more. I'd say about, I don't know how long it's been, but I'd say not more than 3 months. Like, it was pretty sure like 1 to 2, right? Or maybe a few weeks, I don't know. We started getting this bond again, and we started talking again, right? And so we were going good at that time, right? He started, like, for me, he started being aggressive, and I knew what it meant, right? Sorry, I'm just like trying to put it all together. We didn't date, I'm pretty sure. No, we didn't. Okay, no, we didn't. We were thinking of, is what I'm saying. We were considering it for a little while. I started to be more hesitant about it, because I wanted to, like, after the other guy, I didn't, like, want to date anyone yet, because I felt really, you know, like, I felt heartbroken. It was like, that relationship was also important to me, just like it was with Reese, right? And so losing that, it made me, like, you know, like, step back, you know? And so Reese was like, it's okay, I get it, you know? So we were, like, chill, basically. We weren't, I wouldn't say, like, we argue, but it was over stupid, so we wouldn't, like, he wouldn't be, like, that aggressive, you know? He would be, like, just, he'd get mad, and then, yeah, like, he gets back to normal. Same thing with me, but, you know, it was, like, that little friendship, you know? We were close. And then I met another person, and I started having feelings for them, right? I couldn't control it. And so I didn't want to tell them that I did, because I was like, no, like, this is just a feeling, you know? Because I wasn't sure. I still wasn't ready yet. And so I told Reese about it. I was like, hey, I low-key like this person, but low-key, I don't think it's a good idea to, like, even tell them, because, like, I'm still not ready. And maybe, like, what if this is just my heart bluffing on me, you know? Like, my mind and heart bluffing on me. And he's like, oh, yeah, I get it. And then Reese messages that person and says, hey, so you know this person, right? And then he goes on and tells them that I have a crush on them. And I was, oh my god, I was so fucking, like, I was over with it, because I was like, I told you specifically that I didn't want you to, you know, like, do that. My bad. I'm at work, so I don't know if there's a customer here, but let me continue. So basically, the other guy, which is the one I liked, right, came to me. He's like, is this true? And I was like, I was hesitant to answer it. I was like, yes, it's true. I had to be honest. I couldn't lie, you know, because that's not me, right? So I tell them, like, oh yeah, like, I had a crush on you, right? But I don't know, like, I told them not to tell you that, because I wasn't sure. And they're like, oh yeah, it's fine. And so that guy considers, like, you know what, let's just, let's try it. Let's try the relationship. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And so we tried it. It was going good. Like, I can't lie, it was going good. Reese, I don't think he was happy about that. I'm pretty sure, I don't know what he wanted, but I have this feeling that he just wanted the person to be like, oh, what the fuck, like, they like me, I don't like them back, right? I wasn't sure if he wanted to achieve that, like, to make them think like I'm weird or whatever. And well, my bad. So Reese, I don't know what his intentions were, right? And so the other guy, he, like, I guess slipped past it, didn't know his intentions or whatever. Then later, I told the other guy, like, oh, like, I told him basically what happened between me and him, like, just to make sure if it was okay, because, like, he's my ex, and, like, I don't like talking with exes while in a relationship, because I want to respect it. I didn't have feelings for Reese at that time, right? I was more like a friendship, right, with them. And they're like, oh yeah, no, it's cool. The guy that said that, the one I liked, right, he was like, oh yeah, no, don't worry about it, it's cool. He was like, I too talk with my ex, if that's okay, we're just like best friends now, right? So I was like, oh yeah, that's cool, like, we were at an agreement. And so later, Reese, he goes on about a poly relationship, right? And so I told Reese I wasn't ready for that because of what happened to our other one, and I was scared. Like, I wasn't scared for me because I know I can handle equal, right? But I was telling Reese, like, I don't think that's a good idea, because I mean, like, what happened to our last poly relationship, like, it didn't work because you felt unequal, and what if it's the same thing for this? And I don't want to, like, screw it up, and I didn't want to, like, I just didn't want to get into that. And, like, it felt like he kept pushing it, right? And I told the other guy, and he was like, oh, blah blah blah. I don't recall what he said. We had this group chat, and the other guy was like, you know what, let's just keep it chill for right now. Like, not like, we weren't like breaking up, whatever. We were just like keep it close, like, not let Reese into it, right? And so Reese kept pushing it, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know what to do. Another guy started being like, okay, you know what, let's just, like, I don't care, let's just see, like, let's test it, maybe we'll find, love we never saw. So I was like, okay, like, okay. And so we dated Reese, and it wasn't working, right? I had a lot of flaws, and I'm pretty sure we broke it off with Reese. Pretty sure. I don't know if I was still friends with Reese as well, but I don't recall. But I remember him being aggressive about my partner. He would say he wants to kill them, he wants to hurt them, this and that. Like, he would be very aggressive, and I was like, what's your problem, And I told my partner about it, and like, no, yeah, like, he's doing too much, like, he's being way too aggressive, and he's like, I don't want you to be around people like that. So I was like, yeah, you're right. And so we ended up unfriending Reese, like, both of us, because he was being really aggressive about it, like, major. And so we were fine just as is, right? Later, my partner, I forgot what he did. I think he traced art, posted art that wasn't his or whatever, because he wanted to be like, he wanted to feel famous, he wanted like to feel valid, he wanted to feel like his art was good, right? Because he didn't want to post his own art because he felt really insecure about it. And then later Kaz, I'm pretty sure Kaz exposes him for that. And on that video, on the comments, I don't recall exactly what it was, but they were harsh, and they would be harsh on his page. I remember he got even death threats by it. I was like calm down. Calm down. And so I noticed one comment. Guess who that was? Reese. And his comment was saying, oh yeah, they forced me into a poly relationship. And then another person asks, what even is that? And he's like, Reese replies with, I don't know, it's just so weird. And to me, I was like, what the fuck? Like, first of all, you were the one pushing it on, right? Like, you can't like just randomly say that. Nobody was even asking you if you were in that relationship, but you just wanted to dog on my partner for that. And like, I was all kinds of pissed, because they kept getting death threats and this and that. I had to tell Kaz, like, hey, like, I know like they did a bad thing, but can you take it down? Because like I feel like they're doing way too much, right? They're like, her fans or supporters or whatever, they're doing way too much. And it was getting to a point where my partner was getting really depressed by it. So I was like, can you take it down? And the cat was like, yeah. And so this and that. Time goes on. I break up with that guy, I'm pretty sure, because we weren't meeting ends. Later, Reese is back, right? I was at a low point. I felt really vulnerable, this and that. I just couldn't control my emotions. I didn't have anybody at that time. I had one friend that I used to have. Sorry, not used to have. I still have. One friend I had at that time was there, but they were I don't know if they were in a relationship or whatever. So I didn't want to bring it up onto them because they're already having problems. So I was like, I felt really alone on this. And so I don't know why I go back to Reese and I'm like, I'm sorry, this and that. Like, we become friends and this, start talking again. So we become friends, right? I'm not sure when this was, but we started being close again, right? After some time. He still had his old habits, right? There was a time he told me that, like, he confessed to me that when he wanted to cut himself, that he never did. Like, he never hurt himself. Like, he said that he was only lying to get my attention, right? And so I was surprised. I was shocked because I was like, oh my god, you had me so worried, this and that. I was glad he doesn't, right? And I told him, like, it's okay, like, don't worry about it, I didn't get mad at him. I actually comforted him, like, like, we can do, like, I know us humans can do crazy shit for attention, even it's like showing your cleavage, showing a fucking new hairstyle, really stupid shit, right? Even that stupid, right? But it was valid to me. It was basically because, like, I can handle that, right? If he does this to somebody else, it's a different story. But if it's to me, I'm a very caring person, right? And when somebody comes out to me, I also relate to them, because as a kid, I would also, like, fucking cut my plushies up and then cried to my mom and dad about it because I wanted attention, right? And so it's not the same, but I'm just, you know, a lot of us do a lot of crazy shit just to get attention, right? And Reese, I don't know what happened, like with his, you know, this and that, but I do recall him telling me that, like, in one of his past, like, he never had a healthy relationship. And I felt really bad for him because, like, maybe this is how the way he copes. This is how he gets reassurance. He has to lie to get that reassurance or that attention. And so I was really, you know, I was really sentimental, you know. It was emotional because, like, you shouldn't have to do that just for love, right? And so I do recall him mentioning one of his exes did something really bad to him. I won't mention it because I respect him still. I'm not that person, you know. Bad people are, you know, they could do bad shit, right? But I'm still gonna respect their secrets. Not their secrets, actually. Not their secrets. My bad. Not their secrets. The things they hide away, basically, like their past trauma, their secret trauma, as what I'm saying, like they keep away forever, I guess. I don't know, but I will keep that private because, like, I don't know if it had something to do to mess him up, but like it was something traumatic for him. So I won't blur it out in public, you know, or tell anyone about it, because, you know, he kept that between us, and I don't want to, like, go against that, you know. I don't like bad shit turning on me, right? I don't want it flipping over and I get karma for spilling that out, right? And so, you know, I just felt bad for him. And as time goes on, we started getting closer, right? I mentioned that, right? So we're like in between, you know. I'm pretty sure we were like just best friends, basically. And there'd be times, I will admit it, there would be times where we actually did non-safe for work stuff, basically, as in erotic stuff, basically. I won't go into it, but there'd be times where we'd be friends, but we'd also do that, not often, just at times. We were both single at that time, so, you know, we were just still working on each other, right? We're working on ourselves, basically. And time goes on, blah blah blah. I still had to handle his emotions, this and that. Time goes on, right? I don't know who he dates. Oh yeah, so he dates another person. I won't say their name. I'll keep it confidential. That was like my friend, and so I was supportive, because I was like, you know, like, and I was really happy for him. It was good he found somebody. They were okay for a little while. I recall, because my friend would tell me that things were going good. He would show me a screenshot like, oh yeah, he's so, like, he was happy, you know. And time goes on. My friend tells me that, like, he feels that Reese is embarrassed that he's a guy, like that Reese is dating a guy. And so I was like, what do you mean? And they were saying it's because Reese doesn't tell his server that he's dating a guy. And he's like, I feel like he's embarrassed of me. And I was like, I don't know, maybe he just doesn't, like, feel comfortable sharing his relationship status. And shit, sorry. What was I talking about? My bad. My freaking brain fogs up for a little while. My bad. So it was it was that one server, some Dragon Ball voice acting one, right? I recall most of his friends being there. Most of his friends were there, I'm pretty sure. My friend worked for the banner or the cover. I don't remember what it was, but they were drawing stuff, and it was really good. And then he would tell me the problems and the issues that would have. And I don't remember if they fought in the server. I think they did. And then it led to stuff, it led to bad stuff. And they end up breaking it off. I don't remember when, but as soon as they started having more issues and more it builds up, they broke it off. And my friend, they're chill with it, they're not like, they didn't sulk much about it, because they're like, we had our problems, this and that, right? And Reese was also chill about it, we just stayed as friends, right? Like, they stayed as friends, and so they're all three of us basically. And in that server, it was chill after that, I think. Yeah. I don't remember if that was Reese's last relationship after that. I'm trying to think, because I'm pretty sure Dallas, his ex was before Kaz, right? Yeah, I think so. I don't remember. It was like a whole mess, it was hard to keep track. Yeah, so at the end, I don't remember what his last relationship was, but at the end, me and Reese started doing that stuff again. Friends, but also being involved in erotic stuff between each other. And so my bad. We would, because we were still an on and off thing, we wanted to date, but at the time we were like, no, it's not good, right? Okay, so then we're reaching the end. Reese, he would be distant. He had this annoyed aggression. He wouldn't really talk to me, and he would start being more erotic. Like, every time he wanted to talk with me, it always involved erotic stuff. And I was like, I just felt like I was being used at that point, And so I don't say much about it. We started becoming distant. And then near I don't remember. It was in 2025 though. That's when I stopped talking with him. Like, I unfriended him on everything, and like never contacted him ever since, But I do recall back in the past, he would threat stuff. I remember when I was with my other partner before, the one where we started off in that poly, right? That partner. I remember Reese sent messages to them on TikTok. I don't know what started it. I don't know, like, what they talked about beforehand, but I do recall Reese saying that, like, he was threatening that he was gonna come to my house and beat me up. And I don't know if he, like, was very genuine about that. He was really aggressive though when he said it to my partner, right? And he was telling him all the details, right? And so, it was just like, it was fucked up. Because he was like really mad, because me and that partner were dating, and he wasn't in that poly. So with Reese and everything, it did affect me. It did affect me a lot. I would say that. I've had my fair share of a lot of relationships that were very toxic, but not as continuous as Reese, you know, because Reese was about 3 years that it continued, right? And so it did affect me. It did affect with my my interest in love, my love language, all that. Like, it did have that effect on me. I should have known better, but you know, when you're too caught up with something, you just, you know, you forget how to do your own shit, you know, how to be you, how to live your life without having to depend on this person, right? So it did, like, mentally mess me up a little bit, but I don't know about the other victims, you know. You know, if he ever led them to become worse, you know, because for me, I became really suicidal because, like, Reese was being that way. And at that time, I don't know why, but, you know, I was vulnerable and shit. I actually, when I was in my relationship with him, I did smoke a lot of pot. I won't deny that. That was like 15 to 17 basically, right? Or no, 15 to 16. I'm pretty sure I had smoked pot a lot, actually. Because of that, I wanted to numb the pain. I wanted to handle it. And so he knew my problems. I told him about it. It did hurt when he said I was a drug addict in a server in front of all those people. I felt really embarrassed, you know, because like I never told anyone that I was addicted to pot other than him and the other guy, right? Because we were still together at that time. And he would tell people, like, he didn't tell people, I meant he told people in that server that, like, because there was a conversation about fucking poly relationships, and I was like, it's not that bad, because like, they're talking about, I don't know, some fucking poly relationships, right? And I was like, it's not that bad, because sometimes it works out, because like, my fucking brother has a poly relationship that's been going on for so long, and I haven't seen I've seen a little bit flaws, but like, they're thriving, you know? And so to me, it's like, it doesn't, like, you don't have to be in a poly relationship, you know, but support other people, you know, like, it's just the same thing as a couple, right? Maybe it seems weird to people, but, you know, just have respect, you know. So I was talking about it, like, not all of them are bad, not all poly relationships are bad, right? And Reese tells me, like, no, they're absolute shit, gang. And I was like, that could be your opinion, doesn't matter, but it just won't change mine. And then he would say, on the lines that, I don't recall what he said. I do have a screenshot of that though, where he said that something, you're a drug addict anyway, or something like that. And I felt really insulted, offended actually, because he went past the boundary, right? And he even said that in front of his server, like his friends, like those were his friends, and weren't just random people, they were his friends. And so, you know, I felt really sad about it, because like, I know, like, I'm honest, I'm a fucking pot addict. Not now, I controlled myself, I worked on myself and this and that, but it, like, having someone you love say that to you, when they say that to you, it's like it changes, you know, because it's somebody you love saying that, somebody you trusted to say that to. I don't usually share a lot of personal shit with anyone, even partners sometimes, but if I really trust you, you know, I would say that about myself. Like I have a lot of shit, you know, like a lot of personal shit, and for him to just out it like that, it's just like, it's disrespectful, you know. Like if I was talking about this and that, then I guess it would be like I wouldn't care. But if it was somebody else, I wouldn't care. But if it's coming from him, I trusted him, it hurt, you know. And I remember talking to one of his, like, I think exes or his friend, I don't remember. I think they were like exes and they became friends. I talked with them and I was like, yeah, like, because I left the server, and they checked up on me, and I was like, yeah, this and that, and I told them about that, like, the situation. They're like, oh yeah, it's okay, I also was thinking of leaving the server because this and that, because of how Reese was being. And so anyways, after that, after I broke contact with Reese, you know, I don't hold anything against him. I really don't, because like, I don't hold grudges, you know. If he did it to somebody I love, it's like, yes, of course I would take action, you know. But I do not hold anything against Reese. I've already came to acceptance. I'm pretty sure he also came to acceptance, you know, like, it is what it is. Just, you just have to move on with your life, you know. I wouldn't say that he affected me fully, right? Like, he did affect me like a whole bunch, but I'm pretty sure I also affected him. Like, I caused some problems to him as well, because of, I have BPD, and I would split sometimes with him, and you know, it was problems, and so we both got issues from it. So it's like, you know, it was, I guess, fair. I don't know what else to call it, but you know, it's just, I don't know what he did to other people, and if he did anything bad, like, to this situation, I feel really sorry for those people, you know, that they have to deal with that. They have to go through what I went through, or even worse. I don't know if Reese is a groomer, but you know, if he is, then like, it's just fucked up, you know. Like, a lot of problems, you know. But yeah.
The second interview I want to introduce is Kaz, the 14-year-old girl he tried to mess around with last year when he was 18 years of age. A specific term I want to bring up was something that he said at the time, was that, quote unquote, age was just a number. Makes sense when you see how much kind of stories are going on around him. Kaz has been under heavy scrutiny due to cheating allegations, which, I mean, are horrible. But the worst thing about cheating allegations is that she was disloyal. The worst thing about grooming allegations is that that is a court case in it of itself. Anyways, viewer discretion is advised. This covers not only the alleged grooming parts, but this also covers the lying about the age and the abuse in past relationships. With Kaz, take it away.
Hi, my name is Kazi, also known as Goku Blackmail Elementary formerly, and CC also formerly. Charlotte, I had I had cut ties with Charlotte a very long time ago due to like I don't due to like me getting a new boyfriend. I just cut him off fully. But my full story with him, my history was like I used to be mutuals with him, like on all of my accounts every time I got banned. Almost every time I got banned. And one day he just started talking to me out of nowhere. And we just started talking more and just started talking more and more. And he would like I was 15 at this time, right? Yeah, I was 15 at this time. Freshly 15, like right after my birthday, like 2 weeks after my birthday. Yeah, so I was freshly 15 when I started talking to him, and I forgot how old he was. I think he was like 17, 18 years old. I believe. I keep forgetting, but um he would say like really weird things to me. Like he would ask me to step on him with thigh highs and stuff. And like, but that was like one of the weird parts I'm gonna get into. But like when we dig deeper, it's much more worse. Like he would say like these outrageous, outlandish things about me. Not about me, but to me. And like I had to go with the flow and match his freak, or else I would probably think that like I was gonna like weird him out for not matching his freak. And so that's what I did. And then like one day I get a whole new boyfriend and I block him on everything. And he went to his friends, he went to everybody. He wants to go call me a cheater, he wants to go call me a hoe, all that stuff, etc., etc. And I had like a random Dragon Ball TikToker beefing with me over that. And he called me a hoe too. Barely talk to him, by the way. And then um look, to take full accountability, yes, I did cheat. Yes, I did cheat. Yes, I did cheat. Because he was talking to me less too. And so, um, he went to play the victim so much to the point where like it led to like people harassing me. And I felt like a really big fat burden to it, to the point where like it was on my mind so much to the point where like I started doing like substance abuse, like getting addicted to like marijuana, cards, THC, all that stuff, and isolating myself from everyone else because I thought I was gonna ruin everything. And also self shipping with Goku Black. I was been doing that since 2022, but like it just got worse from there. And uh I never knew I was being groomed by him until CJYonder told me on a Sunday evening, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I did not know I was a grooming victim of his kind." But I thought like nobody was gonna get him for so long, and like I just really felt bad for myself because like I really did have to go through that and stuff. And then like it like it made me feel so bad to the point where like I just start crying every single day when I think about it. Like it like I had to bury it deep in my mind and stuff. Um Yeah, he was like a overall terrible person. The only good memory I have with him was us being on call together. Oh, speaking of on calls, I think he did say age is nothing but a number when I told him that I was 15. And he was like, "Oh, I'm 17, 18 years old." I'm like, "Oh." He was like, "Age is nothing but just a number." I'm like, "What?" He thought I didn't hear that. I'm not even lying. I'm not even lying. Like on my Goku Black collection that he said this shit. And um he did say a lot of freaky stuff to me on call. I'm so mad I don't remember all of that because of due to my addiction and stuff. But really talking about this, really does make me like feel some type of way. And it like and I'm trying so hard not to cry right now. But I feel so bad for the other grooming victims too.
For the third interview, I would like to bring up a surprising guest, somebody who I've already brought up in this video that wasn't actually any of the victims, but a victim of a different incident, right? Dragon Cell, aka Brody, has been brought up here to do an interview with me. Now, viewer discretion is advised. This covers the mistreatment of the This covers the mistreatment of the actors and the deception behind people's back. Anyways, take it away, future me. I would like to know who am I here with?
This is Dragon Cell, aka Brody.
Okie dokie. And who are you in terms with Minus/Shallot? Who were you to them? And basically, what was your guys' kind of relationship?
So I was one of his close friends. I was friends with him for a long time. Basically for about a year, since the summer of 2024. That's when I was first in contact with him.
All right. What has he done to you that made you feel not only uncomfortable but hurt as well?
Lots of the stuff he would do is either say a whole bunch of names, or he would do a whole bunch of random weird shit with some of my other friends, or he would call some of my other friends names and stuff like that too.
All right. Do you remember any of the names and stuff that he used to call you?
Yeah, he would call me dumbass, fat, Patrick. Like, that's what he would call me, because he would say that my brain cells and all that are the same as Patrick Star, like the character, cartoon character.
Did he ever insult you in any of your past relationships before, and if so, how?
Yeah, he has. He's done some insultments with one of my exes before, when I was dating this one girl, like a couple months ago. He would be saying stuff like I shouldn't be hanging out with her, and stuff like that, and that I should be hanging out with him only, and some other friends of his, stuff like that. Like, he just doesn't care about relationships and stuff like that. Like, of how friends, when I'm being in relationships, like, he just doesn't care seeing that.
Yeah. Why do you have a negative outlook on him now?
Just from the stuff I've been seeing and what some people have been talking about recently about him, I just don't really care for him anymore. Yeah.
Rightfully so.
He's just a lost cause at this point. Like, I just don't know what truly got into him, because back then he was such a nice person, but now he's just a full-on dickhead, outcast, and then just terrible human being to be around with. So that's just my personal.
For one of the specific things I have written down is that he has mistreated a lot of the actors, and he had deceived people behind their back. Do you have any recollection of him having mistreatment against actors, not just yourself, but others in general?
Yeah, I remember back when Kami's Dojo first came around, and all the actors were coming together trying to do parts. This dude would just give out parts to just for no reason. Like, he would just give them out at random. And some of the parts he gave to one of the actors, Louie, like, only reason why he gave her Chi-Chi was because she looked like her. And I'm like, I don't think that's a real reason to give the role out just because someone looks like the character. Like, That's not how it works.
Like I said, with the mistreatment of actors, there was the randomly giving out of roles. I do remember there being a lot of conflict in the server when I joined initially from January with the Kid Buu actor and the Cell actor. Was there any conflict before that he might have started or that he fueled more?
I don't really remember any other conflicts before the Kid Buu and Cell ones, but there would usually be like lots of debates over who would get parts like early on, just lots of different fights, and Reese wouldn't really care about it. Like he wouldn't do anything about it. He would just let it happen, and it just wasn't a good show to see. It wasn't good things at all.
So one of the things I bring up earlier in the video is the fact that due to it taking the reason of Dragon Ball Super Broly taking over 6 months was because he kept rushing you for it, and therefore you lost that energy and you lost that passion. Is that true?
Yes. I told him lots of times that I needed help with one simple scene with Gogeta because it was just taking too much for me to do, trying to overlap, and I needed some help on it. I reached out to him, DM'd him, and this dude just never cared. He never replied to it at all. Lots of messages I DM him, he doesn't really DM back, to it. He doesn't DM back. He only DMs back at...
So he kind of just ghosted you.
Yeah, that's what he does. He ghosts people. I've been seeing that a lot. He just loves the ghost. So, yeah. And that's just what got me to stop working on Broly.
Okay. So you said before that he would constantly insult you and your relationship. Did he insult any of the other actors as well? And if he has, was this in broad daylight or was this behind the scenes?
I do know lots of times he would insult people behind the scenes because I would hear stories about it by Cell, which was the Cell actor, yeah. And then I would also hear some a little bit from Louis, and yeah, so I feel like he just does more things behind the scenes so that way he doesn't hope to get caught, because I mean obviously he would get caught more easily insulting people like right then and there in public, so yeah.
Alrighty, I think that settles everything that I needed for this segment. Thank you very much for hopping on here, and Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, man. Alright.
With today.
Schwolf Kakarot.
Alright. And who are you in terms with Shallot minus Reese, whatever?
Charlotte was like an older brother figure towards me. I thought he was like really cool. And he said at least a couple times that we were gonna do something for my birthday, even though we didn't.
Okay. Alright.
Which gives piece of shit allegations towards him. I mean, the dude called me a fucking fetus behind my back, not saying it to my face. He said a bunch of shit behind my back. And, I thought we were cool and all.
Yeah. So you already explained that. Was there anything else that he did that made you kind of uncomfortable and hurt in any way?
Not like uncomfortable wise, he didn't really do much. Like, all he did was like say negative shit behind my back and then having Frieza tell everybody in a call, like late at night, don't tell Charlotte or some shit like that. It was like that. He didn't do anything that really made me uncomfortable. Well, but what I can say is that he wanted to do some Gooner shit for my birthday or something like that.
Gooner shit for your birthday. Care to elaborate?
It was supposed to be like a VA thing where I was gonna do Kid Goku, he was Goku. Then we were gonna meet. We were gonna meet Kefla for my birthday because I had a heavy like allegations against me, like not like heavy allegations, like Kefla Gooner allegations. So we had to do that shit. I don't know why, but he wanted to do that, so it never went through, and that was pretty much it. He didn't. We don't really talk.
Okay. How old were you at this time?
I was like 13.
And how old was he at this time?
I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure.
Do you know what year this took place? That's a better question.
I'm not sure how old he was, but this was like about the time I was about to turn 14.
I'm saying, what year did it take place? Like this year, last year?
24?
So
2024?
last year.
Yeah,
Was
last
it
year.
before summer or after summer?
I think it was before summer, like Thanksgiving, something like that.
Okay, so that's after summer.
Yeah.
So, if I can get this correct, he was, for your birthday, he was planning to do something very NSFW via voice acting while you were 13 and he was 18.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. You did tell me multiple times before and just here that he would quote unquote switch up on you. Do you know why he switched up on you, or do you have at least an idea?
I have no idea. I felt really pissed off that he did that because I genuinely trusted him.
Of course.
And the Gooner shit would be like allegation, like some weird shit. I don't think it was like meant to be Gooner shit. Like they'd meet up with Kefla, like nothing weird. I'm not sure. Like I can't remember. I think I was already 14 at the time.
Okay. Alright.
But
14, 13, and then an 18-year-old.
the dude was a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, no, obviously, right?
Yeah.
What you've already kind of explained, but if you want to go into deeper detail, you can. Why do you have such a negative outlook on him now? Not then, now.
Now because he called me a fetus for no apparent reason with Frieza, and go ahead and told Brody that, and Brody in turn told me, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, dude, I didn't even do anything to you. And mind you, my birthday is April 20th, and then we had a bunch of shit to do. I think it was before, like, that even happened.
Okay. Alright.
Not even before, but I think after.
Okay. Were you an actor in the Kami Dojo server?
I was supposed to be Kid Goku. I was.
Okay. So, you told me about you, but did you see any mistreatment going on with other actors than just yourself?
No, not that I know of, no.
Okay. Okie dokie. Yeah, that's all I got for you today. Thank you for joining me, and Merry Christmas.
Alright.
You see, I am a victim of this. I was the best friend of this man, quote unquote best friend. It was a one-way look. He looked at me as a best friend. I could not stand him. From January to 2 months ago. Because 2 months ago, I was the one to put him on block. I was the one to start this conversation. Right? You see, I was the one to witness most of the mistreatment of the actors via the picture that I showed you for Brody was sent to me directly, where he lies to people, calling our Kid Boo very ugly and he looks like a PDF file. Those were sent to me, not anyone else. me. So, when those were given to me, I wanted more. Since he was already trying to make me do his bidding because of the Kaz situation. That was the thing to spark my head off. I wanted more. And I kept getting more. It was just the same thing day in, day out, where he would disrespect Brody, disrespect multiple people in the server, and then do stupid things like ban Cell Foreskin, not for being racist to our cell, but for his public political views, which was the fact that he was a Republican. If the log records were to stay up, I could have checked the memory log records and it would show you that he was banned for being a quote-unquote Trumpy. That's what it was. So, right, that's all I really had. Until very recently. Now, mind you, he would send me videos, I wouldn't really care. Didn't talk to that guy after May when I actually left, when he accused me of calling him not a real friend, when he was acting like a terrible person behind the scenes. Just a couple months ago, I already admitted that I was falsely accused. I told everyone that I was falsely accused, and I will not actually use footage from that video because there is more to it. Right here, I was cleared of my allegations by the actual original accuser, saying it was all fun and games and it was this, and that. While, obviously, calling someone a PDF file is not fun and games, and I still feel like you should find some punishment in that, this proves that those allegations were false and not true. But who would have sent him to that? One person entirely. The person we're talking about today. That was actually proven by the man today, right? Because there was a lot of times where, specifically here, when he commented under the post, and I found out that he was the one to puppet master what was being said about me, because he didn't like what was being said about him, right? Which I would think, that's a weird theory, CJ. I know you're a theory crafting kind of guy, but why would you think he would do that? You've known the guy for about a couple months now, right? Some people don't show their real colors until years after, so I don't know why I thought that. Because the same day that I talked to his quote-unquote girlfriend, or alleged groom victim, I got a message from the Zach guy, the same person to give me the credentials of the woman that I talked to earlier, or the girl. I say woman very loosely as a feminine person, not a matured feminine person, which I should probably use it in the other context. Saying, and I quote, "So we're gonna talk this out like gentlemen, or are you gonna block me? It's your choice, CJ. Because if you block me, I'm going to show everyone you are a CP Watcher apologist with evidence. Or we can just chat this out. Clearly, you want to be involved with someone that was a long time ago and want to spread false information to people. It's up to you, CJ. Because you've gone to my exes of mine that has nothing to do with the drama. You just want to make me look like a bad person when you really are too." Now, I would love to mention the fact that this was only proven by the fact of me talking to Kaz. Kaz was looking up information and getting screenshots from me, and she accidentally added him. He put two and two together, the only smart time he'll actually do it, and found out that I was conducting an investigation. As I do. I don't know why this is surprising to him. This is my job. But anyways, this was obvious blackmail, because he said if I don't do this, this will happen. Basically threatening me with an ultimatum. That is the definition of blackmail. Threatening with an ultimatum. And I said, show me proof or I will send this to the police. For context, I have a friend. A very close friend. No, not online. School friend. Somebody who I've met multiple times before. Their father. Now, this friend's father is a police officer. Not those little ones that give you a ticket just by sitting there when you're crossing the road. No. This man was involved in these types of predicaments. The grooming ones, the alleged grooming ones, the PDF file accusations. He deals with these like he's Chris Hansen. Now, when you look it up, you'll realize that blackmail is a federal crime across the board. Blackmail can be judged to jail time, especially when committed to a juvie. I am 17. He is 19. This is detrimental towards him. Right. So, I did what any sane person would do, and I kept egging him on. Show me the proof, baby. Show me the proof, baby. Show me the proof, baby. Until he showed me the proof. Broly time being in the Dragon Ball Revival server. What he didn't know is that I already talked to Broly time, and he apologized to his fans. Well, yes, his account's now private because he doesn't like social media anymore. This was already dealt with and already solved. Broly time had been cleared of all accusations. When I gave that to him, he shook because he did not know what to do. But I know what to do. And I'm going to end this here with a good note. Before I actually do some more explaining, I would like to explain the fact that this investigation is no longer in my hands. Before I get into the last bit of evidence I have about the small little miscellaneous thing, plus the explanation for the teaser, the police are now involved with this. While I will never show private information because I don't respect docs, I love my private information and I will never give that out to anybody. However, just because I won't give that out to the public doesn't mean that I won't give that out to anybody. You see, currently the police owns your face, your first and last name, your state, and your phone number. Therefore, after this video, I will detach myself from this investigation. This investigation does not involve me anymore. Unless, A, another accusation is put upon my name on the internet, or B, there is proof of either being set free, a fine, or at most jail time to the public news. When that comes out, I will make a video. If that ever comes out, I will make a video. If I get allegations, I'll make a second video. But besides that, there is no reason for me to keep going. This video is done here. This video will end the entire situation in its tracks. Anyways, to end this off, I want to say thank you to everyone who supported me when they knew that the allegations were fake. To everyone who saw me and said, hey, I'm sorry that you're getting all of these allegations. I want you to be better. So we will stick by your side. The people who decided to stick by my side, I thank you. I thank you so much. And I bless everyone with a great day. When you watch this video on Christmas Day, I bid you a Merry Christmas. And I highly doubt I'll post anything else from this week on. I will most likely post sometime near New Year's. I can't tell you actually New Year's Day because it's New Year's, right? There's no way I just pumped out an hour video on Christmas and then New Year's I'm just supposed to pump out another one of these 20-30 minute videos. That would be insanity of me. But what I can promise you is that next year will come out sparking. But what I cannot tell you is that I can make a video instantly like that for the beginning of the year. I will try my best, but with this entire situation and knowing the fact that now it's in the police's hands, I feel like maybe the week or two break is enough for me. Mind you, I already did the 2 videos this month. I might need to take an early break for January. I'll still post the 2 videos in January, just don't expect them to be the first 2 weeks. Or the first week. I have stuff I need to do for other channels. I need time alone. I might be on. Same type of time when Prince and Mike was on. They want me gone. I need time alone. I need to work on who I am. Now, I don't know if this is going to stay, because obviously I'm a worker. I love to work, and obviously my mind flips every now and then. But for right now, expect my next video to be the second week of January. But besides that, I love you all. Merry Christmas. And as a great Dragon Cell said, Yonder out.